All right, so the 2 now says a rock falls freely from rest and reaches a speed of 16 meters per second after it has fallen for 32 meters. What is this mystery planet's acceleration due to gravity? So there's a lot of information here, so we're going to annotate the word problem to pick out some important key things, okay? So a rock falls freely from rest. It reaches a speed of 16 meters per second after it has fallen for 32 meters. What is this mystery planet's acceleration due to gravity? Okay, so now the method that we always use is guess, right? And that's always how we problem solve. It helps us to keep our work nice and neat. So some givens. So it's falling freely, that's what we know, from rest. So VI equals 0 meters per second. It says it reaches a speed of 16 meters per second. So that means I have a final velocity, 16 meters per second. And it has fallen for 32 meters. So that's a distance that it has traveled. Okay. My unknowns. What is this mystery planet's acceleration due to gravity? So I want to find out A. So notice the only variable that wasn't given to us, nor is even asked about, is time. So with that being said, you want to use the timeless equation, right? So again, this is the E in guess. So the appropriate equation would be VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD. So again, this is the timeless equation. And that makes sense because we weren't given a time, nor are we even asked about it. So now we're going to substitute with units. So VF is 16 meters per second squared. Make sure that you're keeping this square outside of the parentheses. So always put parentheses. Don't put the square on this S because then it looks like an acceleration. Okay, so just keep that in mind. 0 meters per second squared plus 2 times A, and then D is 32 meters. So this is how you get full credit at this point, is everything in terms of what this formula looks like, you are able to do it substituting perfectly fine, and you add units in for every single quantity. If you miss one, you lose points, okay? So 16 squared, you do that in your calculator, right? So handy dandy calculator, that's what we use it for. So 16 squared is 256. This just goes to 0. So 2 times 32 is 64A. Notice that I dropped the units because it'll just get really messy. But since I already listed my units above in this first section right here, right, in this first line, excuse me, it's okay. All right, so now to undo this multiplication, you just divide 64 on both sides. And now this is the solve with units. Again, you need to have a correct answer with units. So acceleration on this mystery planet is 4 meters per second squared. Okay, so to receive full credit, you need to show this guy. Wow, that's actually really big. Hold on a second. So you need to show this guy. You need to show this guy, right? So this is 1 point. This is 1 point. And this guy right here is 1 point. You need to make sure that when you substitute, you are putting units in. And when you solve, you are putting units in. And they have to be correct. So if you put in the wrong thing, that's wrong technically. Okay? But yeah, this is how you solve for the acceleration due to gravity for this mystery planet. Okay?